because 3:30 is the topic of this meeting because he is very, very in trouble.
No, he's not.
I'm joking.
Don't even joke about that.
Listen, we're trying to lighten the mood. Everyone's been scared. I've been getting messages worrying. No one's getting fired, okay? Calm down.
I mean, I don't know about that.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Okay.
Sorry, this is a bit of a side thing, but can we just acknowledge, like, I just accidentally clicked on Certified's Discord profile. Why is she maxed out with Discord badges? And the first thing I see is Opal Nitro badge, 6+ years. That is low-key crazy. I commend Certified of having all these badges. And Napfi over here has got 2.
Holy Discord sweat.
Why does this not work? Hold on.
Go watch a YouTube tutorial, bro.
There is no YouTube tutorial. This mod is like too gate kept.
Right. Deletion. Are you
Yeah,
locked
what's
in?
up?
Are you locked in now?
The situation is very serious, and I've dealt with so much shit. I have to play Minecraft as a distraction.
Yeah, Deletion has been having to take a little LOA to handle a lot of this stuff that has come up, guys. The other NMPCOM members are on LOA for other reasons, but Deletion's LOA has stemmed a lot from the issue that has been occurring for the last month, 2 months.
Yeah,
and
correct.
I will now I'll allow to explain wants me to start by him go.
W mic quality.
Yeah, very nice mic quality. Yeah. Let me actually quit Minecraft. There we go. Peak professionalism. Right. Okay.
Sorry, don't chat shit.
Everybody, mute up. We're gonna go through some pretty heavy stuff. So at this point, I'm sure some of you guys at least have heard about the rumors regarding Pubnetics, the former head developer of Naramo. It's been, stuff going around in chats and stuff like that. And recently, 2 to 3 days ago, Blayley held a meeting with Aithnik and Nams. Now, right. Let me say before. Don't speak of anything we're gonna speak of in this meeting. This is OPSEC. This is very, very OPSEC. Anyways, fuck, what was I gonna say? I forgot. Right. Everything that I'm gonna say is under secrecy and sadly a part of an ongoing police investigation. So, to sum it up short, Pubnetics on the 1st of April got arrested by the South Wales police for stuff unrelating to Naramo, but relating to him talking inappropriately with minors. Now, this is obviously horrible stuff. Once again, this information isn't really private. NAMS isn't really hiding the facts. But sadly, NMP is looped in because, Pubnetics was obviously a big part of Naramo, and he was pretty involved with NMP out of all factions. And, well, bad news is that under B2's leadership, not under my leadership, but under B2's leadership, Pubnetics groomed 2 minors within NMP. The whole entire situation is taken care of. The police is looped in on the whole situation. The proof is being, forwarded around back and forth. So this situation isn't really something that you guys have to worry about. This is more kind of just making y'all aware of what's going on. Which brings us over to B2. if anyone's seen the meeting between Aethnic and NAMS, which, by the way, isn't really anything OPSEC, they were allowed to talk about this. Blaley briefly mentioned B2 and rumors going around about B2's disappearance. And unfortunately, those rumors are true as well. B2 did also groom people within NMP. And it was early March or so when I got a hold of evidence against B2. And I, along with some other people, kind of got rid of him permanently from Naramo. And he is, as of right now, off the internet completely. The police in the area where he lives is looped in on the whole entire situation because it's, serious shit. Both Pubnetics and B2 have done this, in the past, over 1 year ago, and stuff like that. And so basically the situation isn't great for us right now. A couple of miners got groomed within NMP. Although under B2's leadership, blame B2. This, as far as I know, since I've taken over as the commissioner, nothing like this has happened with these two. So, the situation isn't exactly not great, not terrible. And Blaley is going to make a public statement about all of this. I got permission from him to, disclose all of this information to you guys. In this public statement, it's probably going to be mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh, this happened within NMP." Now, if you're thinking about discharging, now's the time. I'm not even going to lie. It's only going to get worse from here. But, NMP isn't getting removed for this or anything like that. This is more on Aethnic for not seeing the signs. Which brings us over to the next point. Now, with Pubnetics as the head developer, a lot of stuff was that could be seen as weird was kind of, normalized. People didn't really, think too much when Pubnetics went into a server and dressed people up as furries and stuff like that, which now, after this whole entire mess has gone through, it could look a bit concerning. Now, as you guys know, NMP is known as the furry faction, the faction with all the furries. Considering both B2 and Pubnetics were furries, let's just say Blaley isn't too happy with the whole entire furry community at the moment, and I think it would be best if we would try to the best of our ability, disassociate NMP from, all of that stuff. So, in other words, all the regulations regarding professionalism would be a bit more enforced. So, one, don't refer to furry stuff and all whatnot when you're in a setting even like this. We're gonna try and get away from the rumors. And yeah, kind of like Kak said, a lot of words have kind of been desensitized and used by people like Pubnetics, where femboy was a term used widely by a lot of people, which is obviously something that we're kind of gonna crack down on and make sure it isn't used as much anymore, simply because we have to, disassociate from the whole entire furry perspective of it all. So obviously when it comes to combats and furry accessories, what we plan on doing right now is just kind of banning furry ears completely and all whatnot. Now people are gonna be a bit unhappy about this. It's obviously a change that is pretty bad. I mean, people have been allowed to wear furry stuff and all whatnot, and now all of a sudden we're kind of just gonna start saying that you're not allowed to do so anymore. Now this isn't put into place yet. There's gonna be, a bigger announcement regarding this, which is probably gonna wait until Blaley has made a public statement regarding the whole entire thing. But yeah, if you see somebody, for example, somebody in game mentions furry stuff to some random NMP officer, and they, jokingly agree to the whole entire thing, that's something that we would, from now on kind of enforce. How I want you guys to handle the situation is obviously to not really censor people talking about it. There's going to be people talking about Pupnetics in the chat, and there's going to be people talking about B2 in the chat. And while I wouldn't recommend you guys to be completely open and be like, oh, B2 talked to a bunch of kids, you don't have to completely, hide the fact. If you see somebody typing something about B2, you don't have to try and silence them because it's something that's simply gonna be out there and it's gonna be known. And in a situation like this, it's best if we all kind of just be completely transparent with the whole entire thing. And yeah, that's why I changed my profile picture. Didn't really have anything to change it to, but yeah. So once again, we're gonna be completely transparent in this. And we're not really gonna censor people for talking about the issues because this is really, really serious stuff. And trying to sweep this under the rug is not gonna help at all. So once again, while you don't have to openly talk about the situation, you can, you don't have to completely hide away the fact that this did in fact happen. NAMS has been instructed that they can talk about this to whoever. If someone asks why was Pupnetics arrested, they're gonna give as many details as possible. Now the new perks for the NCOs that we were supposed to put in a while ago is going to be put in now. So the only real thing that I would want to be enforced right now is if people are actively discussing B2 and Pupnetics for a long time. That's the only real problem that we could have here if information is being spread within NMP. Obviously, people can discuss the situation openly, but it doesn't have to be a full-blown situation where people jump in and learn new stuff. It wouldn't be good if we have a random junior patrol officer like, oh, what did Pupnetics do? And then, an NCO or an SPO openly talking about how he groomed kids. It's something that obviously we have a lot of minors within the faction, and it's simply not a situation, a conversation appropriate for minors at all. So there's gonna be more announcements regarding the whole entire furry stuff with NMP. So don't, enforce this yet. If you see somebody saying stuff that, if anything, that's going to be dealt with by NMPCOM. You guys at the moment don't have to do anything. I'm kind of just here talking about the issue because, well, you guys should know. After the public statement is made, NMP is going to be mentioned as, the faction where this happened. Which is bad. Well, that's pretty much it regarding B2 and Pubnetics. Does anyone have any questions regarding this?
I wish I joined. Wait, what
Just
happened?
before,
Cipro.
Oh, hello, Cipral.
just
We
before
went through
we,
B2 and Pubnetics.
Oh, okay.
So, what the NAMS and ATNIC meeting went through, plus B2.
before we move on to further questions, obviously there is new safeguarding things that we've put in place. So as already exists, any sort of NSFW or condo issues, you automatically refer to NMPCOM. So no NCOs or anything should be doing any sort of investigations into any sort of that stuff, because that's from both faction oversight and also just a safeguarding thing, because there are minors in the general body and there are also minors in the NCO body. So there shouldn't be photos being sent into NCO chat or anything like that. Not even regarding to the B2 pup thing, but just in general. Nothing of that sort should be sent into any of these chats. Same with the server advertisement I was talking about earlier. We understand people want to have communities and stuff, but again, if we allow people to advertise a community in NMP and then something was to happen in that community, we would then again be at some sort of fault for allowing that to come from originally from NMP. So while we appreciate you want to have these big community servers and invite people from NMP, don't advertise in NMP chat or do any sort of like messages in NMP chat saying, oh, who wants to join this server? Because it will just not reflect well. Yeah, in regards
Precisely.
to deletion, the moderation powers to senior NCOs will be handed out. The furry accessories will be banned from combats and formals. Zach, what is your question?
I can go ahead and answer some questions. I saw somebody. I don't know what furry NMP you're talking about that was trailing people. If that's something that happens again, where somebody's like dressing up as a furry with like NMP combats on or something like that, go ahead and go to NMPCOM or me personally, and I will deal with that situation.
Also, if it is just a
Um,
user in game, like if it's just a random user in game wearing it, like making jokes about the situation or anything referencing that, feel free to open a NAMS ticket and NAMS will deal with them accordingly as well. Because it's not
exactly.
something that NAMS wants to be joked about in the game as well. So because the game has an even more wider base of people who are under 18, because it's a more public game, like it's not a Discord server, there's a lot of kids in the game. So any connotations to that should be reported to NAMS straight away. If they're saying inappropriate language and stuff, you can obviously just double warn and arrest them so they are out of the way, but make sure you report it to NAMS primarily.
Yeah. In terms of anyone that has any profile picture, like a boy kisser profile picture, stuff like that, you're not gonna be forced to remove it or change it. I would recommend you to do so though. It's not really gonna be a good look on you. That's why I changed mine.
Right,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. The concerns about NMP remaining official faction, there's no need to worry about NMP remaining official faction. Again, this happened under B2's leadership. It has been dealt with appropriately. Appropriate measures have been put in place, and once the issue was not identified, but once we found out about it, it was reported straight away. And Blady is cooperating with local law enforcement, both for PUP and B2, so it is being handled appropriately. As for the discharges question, realistically, there won't be many discharges due to the fact that B2 is quite a older figure in NMP. A lot of the new people don't really know about him, so it won't affect them as much. So there will still be some discharges or outrage, but the main thing for NMP being announced in the public announcement will probably be backlash from people within NS or some people in the main Naramo server. So I wouldn't worry too much about loads of discharges. I'd think primarily if you get easily affected by people talking about you in NS or Naramo server, then it'll probably affect you. But at the end of the day, most people here, like I myself, don't speak that much in Naramo server. So yeah, take that as you wish.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like NMP is gonna be outed as, you know, this is the faction where it all happened. NMP is horrible. That's not going to happen at all. And once again, refrain from using, any terms relating to the situation. like, well, I don't know, boy kisser, furry, stuff like that. It was something that was widely normalized. One of the reasons being Pup being so, open about the whole entire thing, both in NMP chats and in the main Naramo Discord. Now it's gonna take a little time for us to look through all the public statements that Blaley will be making and kind of making our own as well. Because the B2 thing is not something that Blaley will be announcing. This is something that I chose to disclose right now because, well, it's directly related to the whole issue. So yeah, that's about all. Yeah, we're gonna make some sort of announcement regarding B2 just for transparency. I mean, it's not gonna be the biggest deal. Like, there's not much to say other than an old member of the community talked to a bunch of kids within NMP and later on got removed. I mean, it's been over a month or so since he was removed, so he's really not a part of NMP anymore. And all mentions of him and Pup is just completely gone from the Discord, games, any applications and all whatnot. Although now that I think about it, it might still be some mentions around in some. Nope. Yeah, all mentions should be completely gone. So we're kind of just disassociated from both of these individuals completely, and will continue to be. But we have to be transparent about the situation.
Yeah, so to answer Scarcity's questions, basically, Brady will make his public statement first, and then, of course, we will make our own statement, but it will be mainly more on the B2 side of things. But obviously, we won't get into detail, like, specifically, like, oh, yeah, he groomed these two people, blah, blah, blah. It will just be a more general announcement. And then, again, senior NCAs will have the ability to do timeout messages. If it does become a bigger problem, we will put slow mode in some channels. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an issue no matter what people bring up, and it's their right to do so because it is something that is a big thing to deal with. But the most we can do is just make it not still a safe space for people to communicate in. Like, they don't have to go into every chat in NMP and see some sort of mention of B2 or PUP. Like, there still should be some sort of like normal conversations happening. And if it gets out of hand, you'll be able to time people out. As for professional standards, like you asked, it will be cracked down on more. There'll be more things. Hex on a furry. So the NMP furry gifts, you just need to, if it's an NMP server, you can have NMPCOM delete it and stuff like that. If it's outside the server, there's not much we can do. If it's in Naramo, you can refer it to NAMS. ANRO and NES leadership, they will also be spoken to separately just to get them, like, not in line, but to inform them of the situation. And obviously, because they will have something to say about it. But overall, we can't stop people from sending gifts and stuff, like, outside of this server. The main thing will be there'll be the hardcore SMP or NS people that will start to say stuff and slander. But at the end of the day, it's just people coming in to hate just to hate. The situation was resolved. B2 was removed when we found out about it, and there's been no other incidents. If there are any other concerns or anything, feel free to message Deletion or myself, and we will handle it with the best discretion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole thing at the moment.
Yeah, I see some questions here. One thing that I could recommend is if you don't want to change your profile picture on all of Discord, you still have the option to change it on the NMP Discord itself. So you're gonna have a different profile picture in here. I'm not sure if you need Nitro. Oh, what? You need Nitro for that? Greedy motherfuckers.
Yes,
okay, well, in terms of furry gifts and stuff like that, you guys cannot really do anything about that. We're gonna have to make an announcement about it so you guys don't go around deleting the GIFs and not providing much context to the whole entire thing. There's
Yeah,
gonna be
the enforcement will mainly come in after the announcement. So don't start like obviously enforcing shit now and having a go at people now, because obviously it's not public information. Once it does come out, then you can start enforcing within what we say. Like there'll be another NCO announcement when it happens, giving you guidelines on what we want, like what's not to be discussed and what can be discussed. Because there will be a line, but that will be clarified in the meeting announcement after this, just as a summary.
Yep, correct. Stop interrupting me.
You're going on the wrong path here, buddy.
Okay. In terms of the server tags, we're gonna Cipral, what do you want? In terms of the server tags, we're gonna have to look into that more. Might be more of a hey, we recommend you change this. Cipral, what did you want? Why did you ping me? Okay, Crux, I'll look into the Trello thing. I'm a noob at Trello. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll look into that later. I saw another question, but I kind of lost it in here. Yeah, once again, all of the GIFs regarding furries and furries in an NMP context will be enforced against. Is NMP being deleted? No, NMP is not getting deleted. You know, I have to get my Robux somewhere. Like, I'm not gonna delete NMP. And Blaley's not gonna delete NMP either. It's obviously really bad that this happened within NMP, but at the same time, it was also a head developer of Naramo. So it's, you know, just as bad that this happened within the community itself. Yeah, the situation is going to probably get a bit worse before it gets good. And if you want to discharge, then once again, now's the time to do so. Well, yeah. And on a more positive note, I went through and I background checked every singular applicant, and application results are going to be released after this meeting sometime. So if someone knows an orientation, that would be amazing. It's up to you when you want to discharge. I mean, not necessarily something better if you were to discharge after the public notice. I don't know how long it's gonna take. All I know is that Blaley is going to make an announcement on the matter. More than likely this week. Other than that, I don't really have any information regarding it all. You don't see a point in discharging. I mean, if you don't want to be associated with factions anymore, or specifically NMP anymore, then you obviously have the option to either discharge or just resign down to specialist. Because, well, it's not a pleasant situation. Policy change on inappropriate avatars with furry avatars are vulnerable. No. This is not really gonna happen, no. Furry avatars are way too common, and it's something that the normal player base of Naramo still wears. The only thing that we're kind of gonna be enforcing against furry avatars is, you know, the NMP perspective of things. So if you're an NCO and you like going on civilian wearing furry avatars, don't do that anymore. Even though you're off team, your name is still out there as an MR within NMP. And oh yeah, it's not a good situation. It's not a good situation. Do we have any other questions regarding the whole entire situation? Any new rules you guys maybe want to be put in place or anything like that? Any suggestions and stuff like that? Yeah, some stuff regarding the pub situation was kept away from 8nic by a former developer, which was gone through in the meeting with NAMS. With furry avatars, I mean, in terms of the whole entire NMP thing, it would be ears and tails and anything above that. So a full-on fursuit or just, accessories relating to that. And the server tags, it's gonna be a really, really hard thing to hold on, Hound. It's gonna be a really hard thing to enforce against because obviously people have the right to express themselves, be who they want to be. And a server tag is simply something that's, as long as they don't refer to the server tag or like, oh, look at my server tag, that's a really cool server, then, then it's fine. You can let the server tags be there. Now, once again, the B2 thing will be made public. It's not public right now. As of right now, people mostly kind of just have heard about rumors and stuff like that, and I would appreciate it if you guys could keep it behind closed doors. This doesn't mean that you have to silence people discussing the issue, but simply don't go to your friends and tell them about what I've just told you. The Pupnetics thing is something publicly available. The NAMs are free to talk about. So, yeah. And yeah, the best interest of NMP is to disassociate with the stereotypes, which involves both B2 and Pupnetics, which exactly is the whole entire furry thing. And obviously with the professional standards thing being more enforced, the whole entire gay thing is something that we're gonna be a little bit harsher on. Just so NMP isn't directly associated with that either. Be who you want to be. We're not gonna suppress somebody's sexuality at all. But yeah, it's we just kind of want to get away from all of those stereotypes. It's simply just us getting more strict on the matter. So, for example, I saw somebody creating a forum on some gay survey version 2, trying to calculate how big of a part of NMP is gay. That's something that we don't really have to be doing. It's simply something that's directly, it's a stereotype, and right now we really don't need to have any stereotypes. So that's something that, once again, future announcements will be made about this. Yeah, Hound, did you want to say something?
In terms of a question about the NAMS emergency helpline, there was also someone who brought up ages ago on training cadets on how to identify grooming and how to report grooming. That is not something that we should be standardizing in NMP at all. I get that it is relevant, or it will seem relevant, but we shouldn't, again, keep in mind, a high majority of people in NMP will be under 18 and minors. We should not be at all standardizing or bringing up grooming, stuff like that. That's why some individuals got in trouble, because in orientations they would explicitly use sexual words when describing row banging. They wouldn't just say row banging, they would use certain terminology. So yeah, we shouldn't be saying, oh yeah, if you spot grooming or how to identify grooming, go to this. It's not something that people will ever really encounter in the Naramo game. Like, they're not gonna see stuff in game apart from row banging that would cause a flag. So we will not need at all to have any sort of training on the NAMS emergency helpline on how to spot grooming. Again, majority of people here are minors, and we shouldn't be exposing them to that kind of stuff, because again, most people won't have ever had any sort of interaction with this stuff. So there's no need for us to expose them to that. And that just makes it more of a prominent issue and make it seem like it's an NMP thing and not two people that did things. It's not an NMP thing, and we shouldn't be at any stage teaching anything regarding grooming.
Yeah. You guys are not to try and like search out victims and try to take on some sort of like white knight role in this. This is something that both in the PUP and B2 situation, law enforcement is involved and it's ongoing investigations in real life. And it would simply just be more complicated if we have you guys going out of your way to try and find victims, because that's simply something that's already been done. And if I see any of you guys doing so, that's more than likely going to lead to your removal. You guys are not really to try and seek out grooming victims or, speak to cadets about the matter, as Hound said. We're not going to teach people how to deal with people we suspect of grooming others. That's not something that we as NMP, as the community, should be teaching people, because once again, there's minors here. And from what I know, all of the B2 and PUP mentions within the ceremony game has already been removed. We'll obviously look into all of the furry stuff in there as well. I don't have, a huge problem with, some of the stuff there, even though it might refer to some furry stuff. It's simply something that's not, super damaging to our reputation if it's still in the ceremony game. Yeah, we'll look into that and remove anything that we think is an issue. So that's that. That's the current situation.
Sorry, just to add one more thing. When Deletion said you shouldn't be looking for any victims of grooming, etc., that also includes highlighting the fact that B2 had groomed two members. Oh no, we had two members within the NMP. It's not something that should be highlighted, especially because some people might still be in NMP, and that creates an awkward environment for them if the topic is suddenly about them and around them. So you shouldn't be discussing any of those specific details in public chats or anything, because you don't know who has been subject to it, and we shouldn't be creating an environment where they feel talked about or discussed at all. So just don't mention specifics. You're obviously allowed to talk about it, but it shouldn't be getting into any specifics.
Yeah, well said. Fuck, I was gonna say something important. I forgot what it was. Was in regards to the entire situation. Okay, yeah, we might have to remove some of these arts here. Now I would really discourage you guys from talking about the situation and giving the information that I've given you guys, if you're not 100% certain on the details. So if you're not 100% certain on all of the details that I've told you guys, then please don't go around spreading stuff, because in a situation like this, misinformation is something that's going to happen. And I've already seen a lot of misinformation being spread about the situation. And it's something that will just interfere with the police investigation and all whatnot. No, NMP will not be under police investigation. The evidence, here's the thing. It more or less happened with members a part of NMP. It didn't directly happen within the community's walls, where it happened in, say, command chat or the normal chat or anything like that. It happened privately in DMs, but the victims were introduced to PUP through NMP. Do I have any more questions about the situation, or can I start like wrapping this up? I don't have too much information regarding all of the investigations. I just know that they're happening, and it would be best if, we kind of just stay out of the way of that. But yeah, once again, there's gonna be a public announcement regarding the whole entire thing. So for now, refrain from talking about the whole entire B2 situation until an announcement is made regarding the whole entire thing. It wouldn't be horrible if people found out and started discussing it. It's simply something where we want to have the first say in the matter before people kind of just start spreading rumors and start talking about the whole entire thing. Yeah, what's this ticket? That's stupid. Do we have no more questions? Oh, I guess not. If there are any questions you guys come up with, you can go to me or Hound or something like that and ask us regarding the whole entire situation, and we'll respond to the best of our ability. So once again, I'm gonna repeat this because it's important. Try not to spread this information around too much. The pub thing is public. The B2 thing is more of just rumors being spread around, which I just confirmed that the rumors are indeed true. So just wait until the public announcement is. If your Uma Musume gifts are banned, wait, which ones? Send them. I wouldn't see why they would be banned. Oh. um, 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 that's a very good question. I'll get back to you on that one. Yeah, for now, don't tell people to shut up if they're discussing the situation and all whatnot, because it's out there, and I would like for you guys to not take any action against anything like this before a public announcement is made regarding the thing, so you guys don't start timing people out for sending gifts of B2 or furry gifts when they shouldn't be. Exactly, yeah. This kind of just sheds a bad light onto NMP, and therefore, kind of warrants full transparency. And we're just gonna try to get away from the stereotype. Now, it might be a bit extreme, asking you guys to change your profile pictures and stuff like that. I'm not gonna ask the general body to change away from furry profile pictures, anything like that. That would be extreme. Yeah, once again, we're not gonna try and like silence the whole entire community or try to force people to disassociate from the furry community. That's something impossible, basically. But we're gonna try and get away from the stereotype, even though I quite honestly don't think it's gonna be possible. Yeah, if an 8-neck dev morphs any NMP into a furry, I would appreciate to, get to know about all of that. And with the entire furry thing, it's more just people not talking openly. Yeah, exactly, Cyril. Yeah, I'm gonna notify you if something like that does happen, which I don't think is going to happen. And yeah, mainly Pop did that, and that one contributor, Banana. Yeah. So once again, we're more of just kind of gonna try and get away from the whole entire furry community because we're not really based around that. It's simply something that just happened due to uh parts of NMPCOM being within the furry community. So yeah. And we couldn't care less about what you're playing in your free time as long as it's not something you go out of your way to talk about within NMP. Does nobody have any questions at all? Hmm. Oh, I guess not. Once again, DM me if you have any questions. Don't talk about the B2 situation. So yeah, there's gonna be more NCO announcements regarding the whole entire situation before the public statement from our side is made. So you guys are kind of looped in. I'm going to release the application results in like 10 minutes. Just so you guys are ready for that. I don't know if anyone from NMPCOM would like to host the first orientation or not. Oop, let's see who pinged me. I would appreciate it if you could send me the notes. I'm gonna kind of draft up a little announcement regarding the whole entire thing. Summarize up the meeting. I would just highly discourage you guys from talking to anyone within the general body about this because once again, it's mentions of grooming and stuff like that, and most of Gen Body is people under the age of 18. This is simply something you guys have to know, so you know what to kind of look for when the announcement does get dropped. Yeah, and we can go ahead and go through the ceremony pictures later. Yeah, you're dismissed. Don't go around discussing the B2 thing, but don't hide it away either. Thank you all so much for taking 45 minutes out of your life to listen to me yap about this serious topic. Once again, this is something that's dealt with. You guys can do nothing to contribute and whatnot. And if something was to happen, like if you've seen something that you would like to tell someone about, go ahead and DM me, and I will forward that to the right people. Right, amazing. I'm gonna continue playing Minecraft now.
Alright, I'm gonna go do some fucking paper pushing then.